How to build self-confidence. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Channie English. I'm so happy you're joining me today. Before we start, I'd like you to think about one important question. Have you ever wished you could become a more confident person? Maybe you've watched someone speaking English fluently, giving a presentation with confidence, or expressing their opinions without hesitation, and you wondered, how can I become like that? The good news is that confidence isn't something only a few lucky people are born with. It's a skill that anyone can develop. Just like learning a language, playing an instrument, or improving your fitness, confidence grows through practice. No one becomes confident overnight. Instead, it develops through small actions repeated over time. The problem is that many people are waiting to feel confident before they start doing something new. They think confidence comes first and action comes later. But in reality, it's usually the opposite. Action creates confidence. Every small success teaches your mind that you're capable of doing more than you believed. So today, we're going to talk about practical ways to build real confidence that lasts, not fake confidence that disappears the moment life becomes difficult. The first step to building self-confidence is keeping the promises you make to yourself. Think about it for a moment. If your best friend promised to meet you every day but canceled at the last minute again and again, would you continue trusting them? Probably not. Surprisingly, many of us treat ourselves in exactly the same way. We promise that we'll study English tonight, wake up early tomorrow morning, exercise after work, or finish an important project before the weekend. But when the time comes, we often say, maybe tomorrow. Little by little, our brain begins to notice this pattern. It learns that our own promises don't really matter. As a result, we slowly lose confidence in ourselves. The good news is that trust can always be rebuilt. Start with very small promises that you know you can keep. For example, study English for just 15 minutes every day, read 5 pages of a book before going to bed, or take a 10-minute walk after dinner. These goals may seem too small to make a difference, but that's exactly why they work. Every time you keep one promise to yourself, you send your brain a powerful message. I can trust myself. Over time, those small victories become the foundation of real confidence. Another powerful way to build confidence is to stop comparing your beginning with someone else's middle. Social media has made comparison easier than ever before. Every day we see people traveling around the world, getting high grades, speaking perfect English, building successful businesses, or living what seems like a perfect life. However, what we usually see is only the highlight of their journey, not the years of hard work behind it. Imagine watching the final 5 minutes of a movie without seeing everything that happened before. You would never fully understand the story. Life works the same way. Everyone starts from a different place, learns at a different speed, and faces different challenges. Comparing yourself to others is unfair because you're comparing to completely different journeys. Instead of asking, why am I not as good as them? Ask yourself, am I better than I was last month? That's the comparison that truly matters. Real confidence grows when you recognize your own progress instead of constantly measuring yourself against everyone else. Celebrate your small improvements because every expert was once a beginner who refused to quit. Another habit that helps build self-confidence is learning to become comfortable with making mistakes. Many people lose confidence because they believe mistakes are a sign of failure. In reality, mistakes are evidence that you're learning. Think about how children learn to speak their first language. They pronounce words incorrectly, use the wrong grammar, and sometimes create funny sentences. Yet no one expects them to be perfect. They simply keep practicing, and little by little they improve. The same is true for adults. Whether you're learning English, driving a car, cooking, or starting a new career, mistakes are part of the process. The problem isn't making mistakes. The problem is being so afraid of them that you never try. Imagine trying to learn how to swim by reading books without ever entering the water. No matter how much knowledge you have, you'll never become a swimmer until you're willing to get wet. Confidence grows in exactly the same way. Every mistake teaches you something valuable. Every challenge gives you another opportunity to improve. Instead of asking yourself, "What if I fail?" try asking, "What can I learn if I do?" That small change in thinking can completely transform the way you approach new experiences. One of the fastest ways to become more confident is to improve the way you talk to yourself. Many people have a habit of being their own biggest critic. They say things like, "I'm not smart enough," "My English is terrible," "I'll never be good at this," or "Everyone else is better than me." If someone spoke to your best friend that way every single day, you would probably tell them to stop. Yet we often speak to ourselves much more harshly than we would ever speak to another person. Your inner voice matters because your brain listens to it every day. This doesn't mean you should pretend everything is perfect or ignore your weaknesses. Instead, learn to speak to yourself with honesty and encouragement. Replace "I can't do this" with "I'm still learning." Replace "I'm terrible at English" with "My English is improving every day." Replace "I'll never succeed" with "Success takes time" and "I'm making progress." These aren't empty positive phrases. They're realistic reminders that growth is possible. The words you repeat to yourself become the beliefs you carry, and those beliefs eventually shape the actions you take. If you want to become more confident, start by becoming your own coach instead of your own critic. Finally, remember that confidence is built through action, not perfection. Many people spend years waiting for the perfect moment to begin. They wait until they feel more prepared, more experienced, or less afraid. Unfortunately, that perfect moment rarely arrives. Life will always be uncertain, and there will always be reasons to doubt yourself. The people who become confident are not the ones who have no fear. They are the ones who choose to move forward despite their fear. Every presentation you give, every English conversation you start, every interview you attend, and every challenge you accept adds another brick to the foundation of your confidence. At first, the progress may be difficult to notice. However, if you continue taking small steps every day, one day you'll look back and realize that you've become a completely different person. Confidence isn't something you suddenly discover. It's something you quietly build through hundreds of ordinary moments. Every time you choose courage over comfort, learning over excuses, and action over hesitation, you become a little stronger than you were yesterday. So don't wait until you believe in yourself completely. Start today and let your actions create the confidence you've been looking for all along. As we come to the end of today's lesson, I'd like you to remember one simple idea. Self-confidence is not something you are born with. It is something you build every single day. Every promise you keep, every mistake you learn from, every challenge you face, and every small step you take helps you become a stronger and more confident person. Don't worry about becoming perfect because perfection isn't the goal. Progress is. There will be days when you feel brave, and there will also be days when you doubt yourself. That's completely normal. Confidence doesn't mean you never experience fear. It means you refuse to let fear decide what kind of life you're going to live. Keep showing up, keep practicing, and keep believing that every effort matters. Even if today's progress feels small, remember that small improvements repeated consistently can create extraordinary results over time. Thank you so much for joining me today on Channie English. I hope this lesson has given you practical ideas that you can use in your everyday life, not only to improve your English, but also to become a more confident person. If you enjoyed today's lesson, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another lesson from Channie English. Before you leave, I'd like to ask you one final question. What is one small action you can take today to become a more confident person? Share your answer in the comments below. Your idea may inspire someone else to take their very first step toward believing in themselves. Thank you again for watching. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep building your confidence one small step at a time. This is Channie English. I'll see you in the next lesson. Goodbye and have a fantastic day.